This is my latest purchase from eBay. It's faulty. It's a KEWTECH KT64 6-in-1 multi-tester. It was reported that it's just not powering on. And you press the button, as you can see, nothing happens. I have got it to power on just by wiggling this button to the left or to the right, but I can't seem to get it to do now, and it did actually come on. Prior to doing any tests or trying to get the unit to come on, I have changed the batteries. The batteries that were supplied with it were all around about 1.1 volts, some were less, mainly the ones down in this section. I've checked the fuse on the back, that's okay, there's continuity on that. I've tried shaking the unit a little bit and see if it was just a dry joint or something, but it just seemed to be doing this button. I've got it to come on twice now, just by when I'm holding it, just pushing slightly to the left or right. So I'm thinking it's more just the switch. Now this unit is out of calibration, there's no sticker on it. So it's not going to be used in the field until it's been sent off for recalibration, if at all. I believe it's an i16th or 17th metre, so it's quite dated now. But we'll strip it down, we'll have a look and see what's inside here. Take the back off to get access to the batteries. Simple enough to do if you undo the screws enough. And there is actually a fuse inside there. Just test the battery voltage. And to there. And we're showing 12.79 volts. So the batteries are working okay. Well, we know it's working because it's powered up, hasn't it? And I've tested the fuse just continuity wise, and that measures fine. So I think it's just really a question of getting inside it and having a quick look, see how this thing comes apart. Never dismantled one of these, so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. Looks like there's 4 screws here. Can't see anything else, but if we get the batteries out of the way. Can't see any other screws in there at all. And that's just a screw. I mean, this unit is out of calibration. I can't make anything out from the calibration sticker, but let's see how this comes up. Oh, but that's quite simple, isn't it? That's quite nice. Very simple to open up. Battery terminals are just inside there, and hopefully there is a small plug which we can then remove the back, which there seems to be. And then it's just a question of now having a look at it inside, see what the best way to dismantle this would be. Not sure about this back piece. Looks seems to be a clip there holding this back panel on. Let's just squeeze that in. And we can lift the main board away. There's another connector block. I'll take this off for now. Just so we can fold it over. And as you can see, it's quite a well built board. There's a couple more fuses on here, we can test those. But it's just really a question of working our way now down to that LCD. It's looking like this This board's held on by these lugs here, so we can take those off. And I can now lift this board out of the way. And the power button is just this contact here, so it might just be a replacement on that power button. Hopefully that's all it is. We're just going to replace the power switch. Very simple to dismantle. There's 4 screws here. And hopefully now we should be able to lift out the display. No, there's another one there, it's 5. And there we go. And this is your power switch, and this is this plastic that pushes against this switch. Might just be a question of replacing that switch. I think we'll try that. I don't want to dismantle much further than that. The switch we're looking to replace is this one. Unfortunately, I can't give you a component designation because there's nothing on the board. These are readily available, so I'll get one of those either at my stores or get one on order. We'll get that changed over, and hopefully that should just cure the problem. And we could test it for continuity in that, but I know it's intermittent, so I'm just going to change the switch first. Have a look at desoldering this switch. This is a throw plated board. I'm just going to use a normal soldering iron and a desoldering tool, and we'll give that a try. Sometimes with these you need to end up cutting the legs and putting the pins through, but we'll give it a go anyway, because the pads are mainly on the top. I'll actually flip it over and look at it. The 4 pads of interest are here, and it doesn't look like there's any solder connection to them. So I'm going to desolder it from this side, and we'll just try it and see if it does actually come out. Let's get some heat into each of the legs first. Bit of fresh solder. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll try one anyway. Get plenty of heat into it. It doesn't look like it has actually worked. We'll try another one. Sometimes you can start to see the solder bubble a little bit, which generally means the heat's transferred through. It's not looking very successful, this. So another approach, I don't really want to force it. You can see that it has slightly desoldered on this side. I'll put some solder back on, and we'll just try wiggling the switch and see if we can pull it back through, pin by pin. So put a bit of lateral pressure on it. And you can just see here it just slightly creak. Then we'll move to this side, and we just continue doing this until we feel it come loose. And there's the switch that's come out. And we can just clean the holes out now. Put some fresh soldering. And just desolder it again. You've got a nice clean hole there now. What have I bought? Amazon. I just bought a box of switches. Got a few spare. That'll be okay. And the switch we're looking for is 6x6x9. And that was the old one. Oh, this is the new one. And what we're going to do is drop him in. Just checking the pads on this side, just make sure nothing's damaged. Straighten that leg slightly. And push him into place. Let's just give that a solder. And this one's replaced. Now we could possibly look at replacing the rest of the switches on here, but I think that's the switch that gets the most use, being the on-off switch. So I think I'm just going to leave it at just this switch for now and just see how the unit plays out. We could do some continuity testing on these fuses just to make sure they're okay. Set the meter to continuity. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. So they seem all okay. I think it is just that switch, so I'm not really going to go too much more into it. I will put some better images of the PCBs, so if you've got any faulty components you could possibly look at that. Fortunately there's no component designation. I haven't got a circuit diagram for this, so I'm just hoping it is purely just this switch was just intermittent, just through usage really. Let's put this thing back together. I've dropped the bottom board in, lined up this. There's a small spring that needs lining up there, and just a gentle push and it should all just drop back into place. And there's 5 screws to put in, so we'll put those in. There's the bottom board down. Let's just check the operation of the switch. Yeah, that's fine. Power switch is sounding nice. So yeah, that's all okay. So let's have a look at now getting the next board on, which I believe is this board. This board drops onto the top of there. Gotta make sure that the spring drops inside of this switch here. And that seems okay. And this is all held together, I believe, with these. That's okay. It's okay. And that right there. Drop that on there. We're just going to have to tidy these wires up afterwards. So it might be that we bring those through there. Just keep those out of the way. And we've got the slightly longer screws for these. There's 4 of those. And all that's left then is the final board, and this connection goes on here with the black facing outwards. It's quite tight. And this one can only go on one way, so it's going to be the yellow facing out towards me with the red towards the other plug. That sort of can only go one way. And let's push all these down into place. Check everything's right. And we've got that centre pin to line back up the that thing there that holds the whole thing up. Let's just check the ribbon cables, they're all in place. These are all tidy, those are tidy. Those are okay there. Nothing looks like it's going to be trapped. And hopefully now we can now put the back case on, reconnect the battery up, and it just goes down into there. And this should just drop on the top. There's a small ribbon there that needs to be moved. Make sure we've got no wires trapped. And that is roughly back together now. And that is back together now. It's got a nice click to it now. And then what I should do now is I'll put the batteries in it and we'll give it a quick test. I'll put the batteries back in. I'm not going to put the plates on the back just yet. Let's turn him over. One moment of truth. And yeah, that seems to be working fine now. Switch all seems to be in the right place. I'm going to do one simple test on it. Another quick test we could do is to null our leads out. So set to continuity, turn the dial, no leads connected, and to cancel the nulling of the original setting, just press and hold that. It's now off. So now if we bring this back, so the button's back out, there's no test on there. So plug this into the L and this into the PE, and we then join the two wires together, and then we do it again, press and turn, and we're going to turn the null on. So now we've now got our null. So now the leads now are going to measure 0 ohms. So it's taken out the resistance to the leads basically. We'll turn that test back off. But I'm not going to do any more testing. The unit was supplied with basic test leads testing the main, so we'll do a quick test on that. But that's all I'm going to do because the unit really does need calibration now prior to any usage. So if we plug that into there, and we now plug that into the mains, and as you can see there, we're showing, probably you can see there, 241 volts and 49.9 hertz. And that's it really. So yeah, that seems to be working fine as well. But that's as much as I'm going to go into on this testing. I'm not going to do any more. The unit is in need of calibration. I could do a cross comparison. I've got a mega unit. I could do some calibration tests and cross comparisons, but really it does need to go off for a proper calibration if it's going to be used at all. The main purpose or reason for buying it really was it just said it was intermittent for 20 UK pounds. I thought it was quite cheap. meter to buy just for a simple switch. I thought it might just be a fuse or a battery problem, but it's actually the switch there. That could actually do with a new membrane putting over the top of it, but that's something we could do another day. But I hope that sort of helped, at least showing stripping the unit down anyway. And it was a simple fault, which is quite nice.